Welcome back to Mainly Everything. My name is John. I'm gonna do a full review on this guy. I've had it since last April, so almost a full year. It's February as I'm filming this. February 25th, my anniversary today, actually. With my girlfriend. It's a PB6465.red, about $41 on DRPD. It's the Insider Long. Has a bit carousel here that holds 8 bits, and it holds one up top. Magnet bit holder up top, super strong. PB Swiss has the strongest magnets I've seen in anything bit holder related. They do carry them super shallow, but that's totally fine with how strong their magnets are. So obviously there are pros, there are cons to it. Let's get into it. It's kind of their special plastic handle, or it's a form of plastic, I guess. It's a vanilla scented stuff. I forgot the actual full chemical name to it, but it is a stainless steel shaft. It has 2 step-ups right here, and then it steps up here again to hold the bit. The stainless steel shaft does go all the way till right about here in it. You should be able to see that, but I'm going to point it out anyway. You can see the bit portion through it. It does have little grooved, or I don't really know what the right word is, kind of like grooved portions on either side of it, so you can grab that a little bit easier. It is kind of a pain sometimes to grab if your hands are oily or anything, or even if they're not oily, if you miss those, those grooved portions, it's kind of a pain in the ass. It does come with a 15, 20, a 10, 15, and 20, I think, Torx, a number 1, 2 Phillips, and 3 slotted, as you see here. A 1.8 and whatever else. Ow. So handle is pretty small in diameter. If you compare it to this Lennox, it's a lot smaller than it. If you compare it to this bigger PB Swiss, it's a lot smaller. This little Filo, it's close to the same size. Filo's still a little bit bigger, especially right here. This insulated Filo, pretty close, I guess. And if I compare it to this big Ouya 11-in-1, you can clearly see how massive the Ouya is comparative to the PB Swiss. So it does have decent little grooves up here where you can spin right here. A little bit nicer than, say, the Ouya. I kind of like the PB Swiss one better than the Ouya. The Ouya has a lot less. Here, let me close this door. A little bit better. Okay. Another con is the handle isn't the most grippy in the world. It is their kind of their I don't know if it's their famous handle or whatever, but it does have a little bit of texture. So it's not totally smooth, but it's not going to be as nice as something like this for grip, ever. 8 bits, 1 up top, so I always have 9 on me in this thing. You can change them out. It holds their standard C6 bits. I don't really like how wobbly this is. I mean, it's not a big deal really to me, but it is something that should be pointed out, I guess. I think there could have been something to kind of mitigate that. But again, it's not that big of a deal to me, but I figured I should point it out. I have dropped this a few times. It has seen some abuse, I'd say, and it is holding up well. It's a step up, say, from these guys. Step down from this, and a little bit kind of nicer to carry than to have a bunch of different, a whole bunch of different screwdrivers in your bag. or in your pocket. This guy lives in my pocket a lot of the time. I normally have this in the stubby, or I just have this. I normally have one or the other. When I carry both, it's normally because I want a longer, you know, kind of an obvious reason. I haven't had any problems with it. If your hands are constantly oily and you need a lot of torque, you're going to have problems with this grip. I feel like that's the way, though, with a lot of screwdrivers. Even this wooden Filo, I feel like if your hands were covered in motor oil or something, it's going to be hard to spin it no matter what. But overall, I do like it. I don't think it's too overpriced, and I don't think it's undervalued. I don't think. I mean, I'd like to see everything in the world cheaper, but it is nice, and it's obviously PB Swiss lifetime guarantee. If anything goes wrong with it, I haven't had to deal with their returns or anything, or whatever they do, warranties yet. I know Doc, Last Best Tool, just did for a little stubby ratcheting screwdriver, and he said they were tremendous, so that's good to hear. I figured they would be. I mean, it'll spin screws in. I don't think you question that. The tail cap does spin too. I didn't mention that, but it does spin. And the bit carousel, when you pull it out, does spin too. I don't know if I mentioned that yet either. Yeah, I mean, it works. It works well. With saying that the bit carousel is loose, it's not gonna fall out. It is stopped up here. It's not gonna fall out, and it hasn't broken on me. I wouldn't recommend you leaving this like this and spinning something and by any means hitting anything with this end. I mean, that's not what it's made for. It's made to pull a bit out, put a bit in, take a bit out, put a bit back in the tip, and close it, and then use the screwdriver. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Overall, a much better option than something like this. I actually really dislike this Ouija. These tend to pop out on me a lot whenever I'm using it, and God help you if you drop this thing. I've dropped it and just everything goes everywhere. It's kind of awful. I honestly might even prefer this Lenox over this Ouija. I don't use either, really, much. The Ouija is kind of nice because it has 3 different nut drivers. It has a 1/4, 5, 16ths, and 3/8. The Lenox just has 1/4 and 5 16ths, but yeah, I think it's a good option if you're looking to get into like kind of a more quote-unquote fancy tool. I think this is somewhat of a decent starting point. Instead of spending $100 on this. I'm sure there are better bit driver options out there. This is what I use, or I'm sure there are other ones that compare to it. This is the one I use, and this is the one I've been happy with. I am looking for new bits though, so what do you guys use for screwdriver bits? That's my big question to you. These PB Swiss ones are alright. I feel like they're not that great though. This Filo, this wooden tipped Filo fits really, really well from whenever I've used it. Whoa! I'm throwing things. Oh, maybe it can't do it anymore. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless you. Bye-bye.